Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the March 6th meeting of the San Dimas Rotary Club. My name is Steve Scott. I am the president of the club. We have another amazing meeting today with some incredible speakers that I'm very much looking forward to hearing from. Before we do that, let's go around the room and have everybody introduce themselves. Margarita, how are you today?
You do this to me every time. I'm in mid-chew. I'm doing well, thank you. Margarita McGee, local attorney here in San Dimas, also a native of Belarus. So, yeah, this one's gonna hit home for me.
Absolutely, yeah. Thank you, Margarita.
Mhm.
Hi, Marianne. How are you today?
Fine, Steve. Thank you. I'm Marianne Kistler, and I'm the current foundation chair and have been in Rotary over 30 years.
Great to have you here, Marianne.
Thank you.
Raymond Foster and your assistant. How is everything?
Excellent, Steve. I'm doing very well. I'm maintaining calm here.
Good for you. And Glenn Johnson, good to see you.
Good to see you, or at least hear you. My name is Glenn Johnson. I'm a member of the Satellite Rotary Club of Military Family Support.
And we're happy to have you here, Glenn. Hi, Sylvia.
Hi, Steve. How's it going? My name is
Fantastic.
Sylvia. Oh, good. My name is Sylvia Melendez. I'm the CEO of the San Dimas Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome. We're very happy to have you here. I see a couple other people here. Jack McCormick, how are you today, sir?
Doing fine, as as is Jackie. We're both watching. We're friends of Andrea's, and she invited us to view, but not participate. So I'll say goodbye now.
Oh, no.
Well, fantastic. We're happy you're here.
Thank you.
And Benny, how are you?
Hello, doing well. I got invited by Andrea as well, so it's nice to meet you guys. I'm a Cal State student, so let's see what this is about.
All right, great. Thanks very much for joining us. And I see Craig Jung has joined us. Craig, how are you?
Hi everyone, I'm Craig. I'm a dentist in San Dimas, and I'm like 8-year member now, I think.
Very good. Thanks for being here, Craig. And hi, Marilyn. How are you?
I'm great. How about you?
Fantastic. Thank you.
Marilyn Sparks here, insurance agency owner here in town. I also serve as the Los Angeles County Insurance Commissioner.
Fantastic. Thanks so much. Very happy to have everybody here. Good turnout. If we have anybody else, any other Rotarians pop on a little late, we will give them an opportunity to introduce themselves after our speaker, but I do not want to keep our speakers waiting today. We have Andrea and Elena here. My introduction to them would do no justice, so I thought it would be better if Andrea and Elena introduced themselves and talked about a very, very serious topic that I know we've all been looking forward to hearing about. So Andrea and Elena, thank you so much for joining us, and the floor is yours. Take it away.
Okay. Well, my name's Andrea Esty, and I live in Laguna Niguel, California. And 2 years ago, like many of us, I stood and watched the news as people were pouring over the Polish border from Ukraine, and I couldn't just watch it. So I went to the border, and I ended up working the soup lines through World Central Kitchen, and went through a variety of incarnations of ways to help and getting involved, and all the people I met along the way. And about a year later, I met Elena. Elena Alexandrova is from Nikopol, and she noticed a project I was doing, getting wood burning stoves to individuals and having them installed. So we've been working together since then. And the two of us have been mostly involved lately in trying to find a better way of insulating broken windows. And I met a fellow about the same time. Well, let's see, no, it was probably after I met Elena, a brilliant engineer from Cambridge University. He and some of his friends from Cambridge came up with a novel way to replace broken windows temporarily, tentatively lasting years, that would do a triple insulation with local materials using local people for a very small amount of money. And I thought that was the project for us. So that's what we've been doing. And I will hand it over to Elena.
Yes, my name is Elena, and as Andrea said, I live in Nikopol, Ukraine, and basically we will talk about my city and the problem which we are facing right now since Russia invasion of Ukraine, and unfortunately the city which they occupied, the city where the biggest nuclear plant in Europe is located, and this city is only 4 kilometers across the something which used to be the river from my city Nikopol. And June 14, 2022, yeah, I think it was 2022, Russians first started to shell our city, and since then unfortunately they not stopping shelling us every day. Today was a massive shell also in our city, and they destroyed one of the biggest shopping mall in the city. Only by miracle nobody was hurt, and this news is already all over Ukraine, and it's a little upsetting. I'm sorry, maybe I will not sound very joyful today. This news upset us much. So I will just move and tell you about this project, what we have, and what are we doing. So this project we call Insulate Nikopol. And the problem what we have that, of course, after every shell, there is a lot of this damaged, destroyed buildings, and of course, a lot of damaged and destroyed windows. And during these more than 500 days of shelling, there is more than 10,000 damaged buildings and 4,000 completely destroyed buildings in Nikopol, and more than 40,000 broken windows. Of course, if you live like Andrea in California, you may not be very worried about broken windows, but if you live in Ukraine and Nikopol, when in the winter the temperature can go below 15, it's minus 15 degrees, and if you have holes instead windows, or as if Andrea will move a couple of slides, we can see that people are trying to cover their windows with wooden pieces. I don't know, can we see it, Andrea? Because I can see only first slide, Insulate Nikopol, on my screen.
Is anyone seeing this, the slides moving?
No.
No.
No? Oh. Uh-oh. Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm on the first slide, Insulate Nikopol. Yeah,
There
this
they
is
are.
it. Yeah, this is how most of the buildings in Nikopol looks like right now. And our mayor, he's trying to do his best. He's providing us with these wooden pieces, at least to cover the holes. But of course, these wooden pieces, they are not helping us from the moisture, or they are not keeping any heat inside of the apartment. Once when we came with our program to one lady, she had 2 children, and I noticed that she had a bottle of boiled water, and she put that bottle of boiled water in the bed with her children, so they would stay warm at least somehow, because back then the temperature in her home was 4 degrees. It was inside of her home. And this is on this picture, you can see that people, when they can't find the wooden board, they can just take blankets, pieces of films, anything what they have in their home to close the windows. And as I said, unfortunately, it doesn't help much. And the second problem that it's prevent light to come into the house. Like my apartment, as I said, it was shelled twice. And we also covered all our windows with the wooden pieces. And when it's already such a depressing atmosphere around and everything is destroyed and shells happens every day, when you come home, at least you want to see some light in your apartment. But with these wooden boards, it's impossible. And as Andrea said, there is that lady with the children, which I've told you about. And over here, you can see the best step. This is the place where we're hiding from the shells and when we try stay warm, because sometimes when Russian shell us, they are broken electric cords and there is no electricity, no heating because of this. Also, sometimes it could be for 10-12 hours a day. And we go to bathroom because this is the smallest place, the smallest room. It's keep heat as long as it possible, and there is no glass there also. So this is the safest and the warmest room. Like my son, he spent a lot of nights over there, unfortunately. Then we had to move him to the village, and he lived in the village without us for 7 months because it was hard for us, but at least this way we knew that he's safe. And for parents, this is the most important. And May the 6th, why in the beginning I said that we had something which used to be the river. May the 6th, 2022, Russians blow out the Kakhovsk Dam. Maybe you heard about this. This is the biggest catastrophe of nowadays in the Europe. And by this, they destroyed our reservoir. And during the summer, we didn't have water for 2 months. You can see on the pictures, this is how the nuclear plant looks like from the Nikopol. This is the photographer. He was standing in Nikopol in my city and taking the picture of the nuclear plant. And the problem is that Russians, they know that we can't answer them with these shells because they put their machines, MLRS rockets over here between the nuclear reactors. And they know that we can't answer them back. That's why they shell us every day as they want. And actually, this is how they train their soldiers. Because they have a lot of soldiers who hasn't been at war before and they don't know how to fight. So they decided that it's a very good idea to teach them how to fight on the civilians. And this is the biggest problem for us, that we are located so close to them. And because of this, we are shelled every day. And of course, it's hard to live in this situation, but when we met Andrea and she gave us information about this project, we gained some, if you can say, some hope, because like this, we find out that we can fix our windows, because after the first month, I think, we ran out of glass. There was no glass anymore because all the people we are trying to fix their windows, and unfortunately we ran out of glass. And there was no other way how to fix the windows as only with the wooden boards. And as I've told you, it doesn't look good and doesn't help much. So this project, which we are doing now for a year, it's just only one solution for us right now. And I think Andrea, she will tell you more about this.
Yes, so as I said, we met a fellow, Harry Blackerston, who started Insulate Ukraine, and he was starting a experimental city with this new project, and we became the second. I approached him and said, we'd like to try it too. So I already had this team put up together with with Elena and her husband and some other people with the stoves. So it was just a natural fit. These guys could install them. They are an amazing fit because they keep people warm, they let light in, they won't shatter from future shock waves. They're very simple to make. They're made all with local products. So there's no shipping overseas with these time lags and, donation locations and warehouses and all this. It's all bought inside Ukraine. And then Ukrainians are hired, and they are people that we have vetted that work with us to actually install them. And it's only about $15 per window. It's really an amazing change for a small amount of money.
At this moment, there is no alternatives. How the city is helping, it's with the boards. They board up the windows, but it does not keep out wind, heat, or water. Well, that's all they can help with. There is no glass at all, and there is no point in putting it now. Insulation, what we do, it fully keeps the heat like a window, and it's reusable, and it lasts for many years. Even if it gets hit by a shock wave, it can be replaced without any problem.
So that was Elena's husband, Ilya, and he runs the team, and it's been very successful. So the theme is we have a local manager that keeps track of all the people who need windows, names, addresses, phone numbers. He checks up on them afterward, makes sure they're happy, that everything worked out, rides herd on the crew, makes sure that they're doing everything right, and pays them. So it's all very controlled. We know exactly who's getting it and where all the products are going. And so this is kind of an example of what we see and what you get afterwards. So the glass is not replaced, obviously, but this is a triple pane type of situation where there's 3 separate gaps, air gaps between each section of polyethylene. And like I said, it's a brand new way of doing this. We should be spreading it everywhere. Everyone should be doing this who are in vulnerable locations. This is an example of what happened right after we had installed a window. These people were home when it happened, and they did have a concussion, but they were okay. And we replaced their window, and then sometime later, a bomb hit outside the building on the opposite side of the building, and the concussion, the pressure came through the building, and you can see how it pushed the window out from the inside. And it just did a little bit of bending of some of the materials, but no one was hurt by this window, which is very important.
A shell flew to us in the month of August, straight to our yard, completely knocked out all the windows and doors, broke the garage and the car in the garage, pierced the gas pipe, broke the entrance gate. Absolutely everything was broken in the house. The refrigerator and everything in the kitchen. We have a granddaughter with a disability. She lives with us. She has a cerebral palsy. When this shelling began, she got very nervous. She has a very weak nervous system. She cried a lot and was afraid. And we went to take her to a safe place, and it saved our lives. We were not at home at the moment of the shell. We all usually sleep here, and everything from the shell, the glass, the wooden pieces, everything was on our beds. We had double windows, so there was a lot of glass. Please tell us, after you've contacted us about window insulation, did it help? Oh, this is a very big help to us. We always pray to God, thanking for you and everything what you have done for us. You helped us a lot. Before that, we couldn't go into the house. It was so dark because the windows were closed with the boards. And now it is light and warm. Also, guys put a stove for us. Our ceilings have collapsed and mushrooms were growing because of dampness. And now we fire up the stove every day and have a dry house. We have no gas, no electricity. If it weren't for your help, I don't know how we would be surviving this time. Thank you so much for your help.
Добре, дякуємо вам теж.
And these people really make a good point. We've seen so much more of this since this film was done. The destruction to people's interiors of their homes from moisture. The amount of mold that we're seeing is absolutely unbelievable from all the water that seeped in from behind the boards that were put up. It's another catastrophe that needs to be dealt with at some point, but it's not possible for us right now. So the original city that Harry and Insulate Ukraine started with was the city of Izium. And I'm sure these numbers have gone way up since this, and they also were helped by Rotary Club 5400, which I believe is from Idaho. And so we were the second one, Nikopol down here, and we've secured about $20,000 so far. Actually, I think it's more than that now. And the number of windows we need to do are 20,000. So we're reaching we're only 20% of our target. And actually the number of windows broken now has increased. So, and this is our team. So Elena is number one. Number two is her husband, is Ilya, and he's running the crew. And then the rest of the guys are the installation fellows. We've got a couple of new ones now too. And they do this as well as the stove project. And this is kind of a little bit of the stove project. This fellow on the left, Elena can tell you about. Are you there, Elena? She may have.
Yes. I'm here. I'm just didn't want it to disturb. There was some shells. I didn't want the noise to disturb. Okay, yes, this guy, and since we've started this work, we was able to insulate 4,500 windows, and we've helped 370 families. And this is all thanks to everyone who supports and help this project going. It's very hard, of course, for us to stay here, to live here, but we made this choice that because we know that if we will leave, nobody else will help those people. But everyone with whom we talk and who is supporting this project, who is helping us, they are also making a choice. And as Andrea said, only $15, and this is the window in somebody's apartment, in somebody's home. So every help which we are, which you are, and everyone is giving us, it's a big support. And I just wanna tell this and telling about this guy who is holding pipes in his hand. Maybe you can see over there on the stove, there is a big piece of shell. It's like 10 or 15 centimeters. And he found this shell in the crib of his 16-month-old baby. And praise God, that night, their child was sleeping with them in the bed. So this is the only thing which saved her life. And unfortunately, I didn't make the better picture, but his home is, half of his home is just destroyed. And this stove is the only source of heating and the only place where they can cook on. And our windows, which we've done for them, this is the only thing which keep their apartment, their house from moisture and from the cold. So yeah, and that lady which I've told you about, and the other old lady, she was I think 91, something like this, and she's a very funny lady.
I'm sorry, it's so loud.
Yeah. So this is basically what we've been able to do in our city, thanks to everyone who supports us. And I always say in every Rotary Club or any meeting what we have, I just want to say thank you guys, because your country is one of the biggest sponsors for us, and we can overestimate everything what you are doing for us. And I just want to say thank you.
You're welcome. Any questions?
Okay, wow. Andrea and Elena, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us about this. Thank you for the work you're doing. Thank you for your courage. The fact that Elena had to mute herself so we couldn't hear the shelling is that's not something you deal with every day. I can't even imagine what you're going through. So I'm grateful that you're here with us. First of all, Andrea, can you please make sure and just put in the chat how we can be involved as a club, as individuals, if we wanted to donate, if we wanted to take part in any ways? Is that something that you could pass along to Raymond or put into the chat? Either way would be great.
Yes, yes. Well, we've had help from some of the other clubs as well, international clubs, and people can donate on their own if they'd like. They can go to our website, ukrainianchildren.org. There's a donate button on every page. Or also, if the club itself wants to donate, you can present that to your international group, and we will definitely put it to good use right away. We're currently running out of money. We've got enough for another couple months of windows, and then we're running out. So, and like Elena said, we've done, I think it's 4,600 windows and about 360 stoves so far. So that's a lot of families.
Wow. Amazing. Do we have any questions for Elena or Andrea?
Just out of curiosity, how much does it cost to make a stove?
The stoves we buy at cost, and they're made locally in Dnipro. And so it costs installed, delivered with pipes and tops and angles to install it is about $250 per stove. Plus we put a plaque on the front that people can put anything on it, the name of a loved one or a club, someone who's no longer with us, a memorial. So, and then we send them a video showing how that, who got that. And it's pretty intense when you receive that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sylvia. Any other questions?
I have a question. Where are you sourcing the polyethylene?
Harry with Insulate Ukraine, they have luckily been doing a lot of the sourcing for us. providing it. At first, we were getting a lot of it from England. We had a huge source that was donating it from England. And so some of that they've had to bring in from Europe. And a lot of it's been donated or we've paid for it at a reduction. And it's also like UV stabilized, so it'll last a long time.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope it continues, 'cause since it's petroleum based, and when petroleum, the price goes up or refineries reduce production, I hope it keeps going so that you get as many windows done as possible.
Yeah, well, that's one of the people I want to approach is the petroleum companies too, to help us.
Good idea. Any other questions for either Elena or Andrea?
Thank you.
Can I add a tiny, I mean, this is the first time I've had the joy of watching Andrea and Elena do a talk. And so I just have to say to all of you that these guys are, you know, if you want communal heroes, if you want people who really look out for their communities and care about their communities, Elena sets and their team down in Nikopol set probably the best example I've met over my time in Ukraine. And like support, please do dig deep to support Ukrainian children. They are just the most awesome, incredible bunch of people, and you know, are examples to us all, really. And well done, guys. It was fantastic. Well done.
Thank you,
We're so
Harry. Thank you
lucky
for
to
being
have
here.
Harry here. That's great.
That's
Thank you.
fantastic.
This was actually Harry. If you didn't understand, the guy who invented this window and the guy who just started this project. So
The heroes of these projects are the locals. So it is the people like Elena. And what will happen if you give to Ukrainian children, from the work I've seen beforehand, is it's going to go straight to the people who are your local heroes. Sorry for the noise behind me. I'm in a train station in Ukraine trying to get to meetings in the morning. Lots of late nights on trains at the moment. But dude, I mean, dig deep. They're incredible and really like very, very, very good money spent with these people.
Thank you, Harry. Well, very far better put than any of us could have done that. And we greatly appreciate the work you're doing as well. Any more questions? Okay. Well, again, saying thank you doesn't seem like nearly enough at this moment. But I'm going to say it anyway. Thank you for taking time. Elena, I know it's late in the evening. Thank you for your courage, the work that you're doing. Andrea, thank you for everything you're doing. You're certainly heroes, and we greatly appreciate it. And once this meeting concludes, we as a club will get together and see how we can support you in whatever way our small little club can. And we continue to say, when we went to this Zoom format during COVID, we were kind of worried about what it may turn our club into, but this format has allowed us to have speakers like you that we otherwise would not have access to. And so we're grateful for that. So thank you all for your time. Again, we're going to move on to much less significant topics. If you are more than welcome to stick around if you'd like to, but please do not feel obligated to do that. Okay. Thank you once again.
thank you
We had
so
a couple
much
other
for
people.
opportunity.
Oh, thank you, Elena. We had a couple people come in after the presentation started, and I wanted to give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. Laura, how are you?
Hi, thank you so much. I actually met Andrea in Poland 2 years ago, and I've had the honor of working with Andrea and Elena and Harry, buying both his windows and the stoves. And I can tell you firsthand, I actually delivered some of those stoves a month and a half ago in Zaporizhzhia to some soldiers on the front lines. And I can tell you these stoves and these windows are the difference between life and death in Ukraine right now. I'm going to start crying. It really means the world to these people. When we handed off the stoves to the soldiers. They were taking them literally into the trenches because this is World War II trench warfare. And they were taking the stoves to families, to shelters, and they were bringing them into the trenches. And that night it was supposed to get to 20 below Celsius. And so when we say that it's the difference between life and death, we're not exaggerating. You know, they're so grateful for every dollar, every stove, every window. Andrea sent me a video of a woman who Andrea had put in windows and a stove. And this woman had sent a video saying, we no longer have mushrooms growing on our walls. I mean, how many Americans can, you know, we don't think about having mushrooms growing on our walls, at least most of us don't. You know, we can't even fathom what they're going through. And so little goes so far there. I just posted some pictures from last year of, you know, we bought a stove, and one of the stoves went to a village, and it literally fed a village. There were pictures, all the babkis got together and made varenikis, these little dumplings, and the whole village got together, sat down and ate together, and that's how they survived this. So thank you all for everything that you donate. I always say every dollar creates a ripple, and enough ripples create a wave. So everything helps. And Harry, what you and your team are doing is just amazing. I mean, they go into places that are just, I mean, bombs are dropping around them and they're replacing windows. You know, children can't go back to school unless there's windows. Harry and his team replaced windows in a school for us, for me and a group that I work with. And now these kids can get back to school to have some sort of a normalcy. So, I mean, the work Harry and his team are doing, and, you know, Elaine and her husband, it's things that we don't even begin to fathom in the United States. You know, it's really incredible. So anything that you and your group can do is so appreciated. I mean, and $15 for a window, I mean, that's like 2 lattes, you know. You know, when we think about it, it's, you know, it really is. By the time you throw in a biscotti, you've got yourself a window.
Yeah.
You know, everything helps. And
Thank you, Laura.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Laura. We really appreciate you being here.
Yeah,
okay, Mike Wallace also joined the meeting. Hello, Mike.
Sorry, I was missing my mute button. Hi, everyone. Mike Wallace. I've been a Rotarian for, coming up on over 9 years now, I believe. But yeah, wonderful presentation, very noble cause, and happy to be here to be able to catch it.
I'm glad you're here, Mike. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Raymond, are you there? Oh,
I am
hey,
here.
you know what?
Yes.
Sorry, Casey showed up. Hi, Casey.
Hey, Steve, how are you? What an amazing
Fantastic.
community we get to do here in the little global circle. My name's Casey, and we going into Find Master, Steve?
We are, and I thought Raymond, not to put anybody on the spot, would it be apropos, based on the presentation we just had, to say that all finds made today will go towards this project?
Good idea.
There we go. Well, here's the game of the game. It's called Finds, and you get to talk by buying some time. So if you are fine, just tell us what you're fine with and how much you're gonna contribute. If things aren't fine, you get to bribe and talk to us and tell us, hey, this is not okay. Maybe you don't like the election results from yesterday and you want to get on a soapbox and complain. That's going to cost you big time.
No,
big
No.
time. But if the money's going to the right spot, we can just listen to you and tune you in anyway. So it is what's fine, what's not fine, and this is what I want to shout out, that you're fine. So you can even just give a compliment to somebody else and say, you are fine, thank you for sharing, and find yourself some money to talk. That took me too long, so that's $5 for me. Somebody else, go.
Okay, well, I'm
I
gonna
would
find
go-
myself. Oh, sorry, Mike, go ahead.
I'm going to find myself $100 for this wonderful cause. Didn't want to say anything else, but just absolutely love what you guys are doing.
Thank you, Mike. Very
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much.
I'm gonna find myself $150 for the same exact reason. Nothing else needs to be said. Anybody else like to
Thank you
find
for making
themselves
me
there?
look bad. Just kidding.
Making you look bad. I started at $5 just because I talked too much. Somebody else can come in and play for 20. Let's go. Who else wants to find themselves? You can talk about anything you want. Talk about what this motivates you to believe. Talk about something in general in San Dimas area as well.
I think it would be fine to put in 10 windows, so I'll go 150.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Glenn.
I'll do 150.
Wow.
Thank you, Raymond.
I'll do 2 windows at 30.
Thank you, Marilyn.
There you go, Casey.
Now we're playing, right, Marilyn?
Look, as Laura just said, you know, these are all ripples that are turning into a wave in this tiny little club that we have. But literally every dollar counts in a situation like this. So nobody should feel, you know, bad about donating. The generosity is amazing, and we truly appreciate what they're doing. And this is our way of showing that appreciation.
I'm going to add $10 to my $5 to make sure it covers a window. So I'm at 15.
Fantastic.
I am
I'll
writing
do
this down.
windows.
I am writing this down.
As you
Raymond,
should.
put me down for 4.
Oh, thank you.
Can we just add this to our dues check?
What I'll
That's
do is what I'll do is I'll send an email to Barbara and have her send a separate invoice for this particular thing, so that we get the right amounts out there. And when we're done, I'll tell you the amount we've got. So far, we're pushing $600. So keep going.
Steve, I'll do the same as Rita, so 4 windows.
So that's
I'll do $100 as well from Craig.
Thank you.
Craig. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 50, 5, 50, 650.
And Raymond, I would imagine this will go through the foundation, not the club, correct?
Yes, we've raised about $850, and what I'll do is, I will cut the check out of the foundation for $850. If I get a motion to cut a check for $850 as a president, I will do so.
So moved.
Second.
And okay,
All right.
I'll cut the check for, actually, Yomi, would you prefer I just went online and donated that way, through the foundation, Andrea?
Doesn't matter. I can give you an address to mail a check to, and I'll give you a receipt either way from our foundation.
We'll communicate afterwards to make sure you get a check from the foundation, and then what I'll do is I'll have Barbara send an invoice to each person for their commitment, and we covered that.
And Andrea, I just want to get back to you. This is an anomaly, just so you are aware, since you guys don't join us every time we have a Rotary meeting. We have amazing presentations that come in, and we do love to celebrate. But I haven't seen more than $150 move anywhere in well over 6 to 7 months. And so that's a lot of speakers and a lot of people that come in and tell us about what they're doing around the world. So I just want to, I want you to know how special what it is that you guys presented today and how it moved in our hearts. So don't think that it's just what we do as Rotarians. We actually don't just give a lot of money. We like to get behind things and do the in the trenches kind of work. So it's probably the trench work that you're doing that inspires our hearts today.
Thank you so much.
I need somebody to increase their contribution by $5, so we got a total of 57 windows.
I could do that.
Raymond, I'd like to do 2 windows.
Okay, Mary Ann for 30. All right. Okay, there you go. We're just about 60 windows. $5 more, we got 60 windows.
Wow.
I'll do
I'll
the
round
5.
mine to- I'm rounding mine to 20, Raymond. That's fine.
Okay, there you go. 60 windows. Good job.
Fantastic. That's the most fine session we've had. So thank you guys for doing that. That's awesome. Okay, moving on to the Action 360 portion of our meeting. Raymond, what do we have going on with Feeding Heroes?
Oh, we had so much going on. So we've got guests here. They don't know this. 22,000 active duty military families, 213,000 National Guard reservists, and 1.2 million veterans in the United States receive federal food assistance. There are food pantries on almost every major military base in the United States to serve junior enlisted families. We have, over the last 2 years, provided the 29 Palms Marine Corps base with roughly 13 tons of food. We've expanded this Saturday. We'll be including the Camp Pendleton, and we're looking to get 7 tons of food. I will tell you, we've had $4,000 in donations, and now I'm getting texts and calls of people who are going to be there. Tomorrow, there'll be 2 things going on. If you're available to come by the lodge, the Masonic Lodge, between 9 and 3, every sheriff's station in LA County will be delivering their food. All the stations or all the schools in San Dimas will be delivering their food. And several of the major hotels will be delivering the things they're saying tomorrow. So there'll be some work going on tomorrow. Also tomorrow evening at High Point is the kickoff party. And I'll let Mike speak to that. Mike?
Yeah, tomorrow I will be there to set up at 4 p.m. The kickoff party to our food drive commences at 5 p.m. Will be crowded, but if you stop by and bring 10 cans of food, then your first beer is on us. We'll be going till 7 o'clock, and then we'll deliver the food we collect over to the lodge for bundling, packaging for this weekend. And then also Friday at from 5 to 6 p.m., San Dimas Little League has our opening day, which was initially rained out. And we will also be collecting food there and then taking that to the lodge on Saturday.
Excellent. And Rita, did you want to talk about opening day since we're there?
Sure. Opening day, 5 to 6. We will be there at about 3 to set up. We're going to be barbecuing. We'll open up the snack bar. I know that Albert is making tri-tip sandwiches, so come on by, have some dinner with us. Hopefully we don't get rained out again. I don't think there's any rain on Friday, but I don't put nothing past this California weather. So I guess we're good to go as of right now. We'll have some vendors, we'll have Mike. And then, if I don't see some of you guys on Friday, I will definitely see you guys on Saturday.
Okay, so then Saturday is the big day for delivery and processing. There'll be about 80 volunteers. I just got another text from more people. There'll be 9 organizations with booths: a Marine Corps League, the American Legion, the Rotary, the Masonic Lodge, the DMLA, the San Dimas Heroes, 2 women's clubs. They'll all have booths there. And then we've got 7 school districts where students are coming from to sign up for volunteer hours. So we receive the food has to be inspected because we don't send out food that's expired. Then it's repackaged for distribution. And then on Monday is when we ship. And so if you've never been out to either of the Marine Corps bases, we have a big truck that comes in and we will load and get out to the Marine Corps bases. So does anybody have any questions on feeding military heroes? Looks like we got a good thing going.
All right, thank you very much, Raymond. Next up on the Action 360, we have RYLA, the Rotary Youth Leadership Academy, which is coming up in a short period of time. Unfortunately, we were not able to find a second student. We will be sending 1 student on the trip, so that's better than nothing. And the good news is, because we paid for 2 people, another club will be able to send an extra person if they had an alternate. So we're still doing good works, even if it's not somebody from our district.
And I think it's important to point out that our junior high kids were the beneficiary of that same predicament this year. So we were able to send 4, but we only paid for 2.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mike. Great point. Okay, let's move on to the calendar. Raymond, would you mind pulling that up, please? Well, I
Yes.
grab my glasses so I can actually read it.
Okay, so we are scheduled with speaker, well, tonight for the military club, the Satellite Rotary Club will be Amanda Huffman, and she wrote a book. She's an airman coming out of the Air Force, and she wrote a book, Girl's Guide to the Military. And then we are, as a noon club, really focusing on business affairs for a couple of them. We've got Jarvis Leverson coming in. He's a productivity coach. And then on the 17th of April, Rotary Means Business is a Rotary fellowship that works very much like a B2B. And then we go back to Blue Sky, which is a clean air program in the San Gabriel Valley. And then we've got on the May 17th is Jason Mason, who is the CEO of the Jewish Federation of the East San Gabriel Valley. And then we will end the year in this year with Alex Trimble, another business related coaching thing. I'm beginning to calendar now for Steve's second year. If you have ideas for speakers or something you'd like me to research, please let me know. But we got a good program coming up.
Excellent. Thank you, Raymond. And as we always do, let's close out our meeting with the four-way test. Mike Wallace, you are
Real
on,
quick
sir.
on calendar.
Oh.
Just want to give a shout out to the LPU Lantern Walk. We had Christina Stover come in and present a little while ago. That's coming up on April 6th. They need volunteers to help set up the walk or to do registration. Let me know if you need the link for that, but LPU is doing a walk. They presented here in January, and we can do something together to make it happen. That's April 6th.
Thank you, Casey. Appreciate that. Okay, Mike. Did we lose Mike?
Here I am. All right. Sorry. Yes, the Rotary four-way test. This is an ethical test developed by Rotarians to apply to everything we think, say, and do. And I think of this as a four-way stop where you may be clear on 1, 2, or 3 of these ethical tests, but if you're not clear on all 5 of them, then chances are you may be venturing off of what is ethical and moral. So of everything we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And that's today's four-way test.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. Well, folks, this was a meeting. I really appreciate everybody being here. I'm amazed at the work that you all are doing. I do want to give a special thank you to Raymond for continuing to bring these speakers to us. This is solely him, nobody else. Raymond, amazing work allowing us to have conversations with people like this and allowing us to make whatever little contribution we can in what is truly necessary. So thank you all for attending. Thank you all for your generosity. And I look forward to seeing everybody next week at the board meeting, which will be significantly less impactful than this meeting. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks, Steve.